Welcome back to Warriors News. Fan Update. Tonight, all eyes will be on the Timberwolves Target Center as the Golden State Warriors prepare for a must-win Game 5, down 3-1 in this pivotal second-round series. The stakes could not be higher. Drop this one, and the dynasty that once dominated the NBA is staring elimination square in the face. Yet amid the pressure, a single question looms larger than any X's and O's discussion. Will Stephen Curry lace up the sneakers and return? To the floor on Wednesday? Let's recap the facts. In Game 1, the Warriors pulled off an improbable road victory over Minnesota, stealing home court advantage when few expected them to. But that triumph came at a cost. Early in the second quarter, Curry twinged his left hamstring on a lightning-quick pull-up, later diagnosed as a Grade 1 strain. Since then, the Warriors have dropped 3 straight, 2 at the Chase Center, then Game 4 back in Minnesota, searching desperately for their runaway leader. Officially, Curry has been listed probable for a re-evaluation before Game 5. But the team's medical bulletin has been firm. He's expected to miss at least one more contest, putting his earliest realistic return in Game 6, the first of 2 potential deciders on Golden State's home floor this weekend. Draymond Green, after Monday's deflating loss, pleaded for his backcourt general's return with his usual blend of blunt honesty and emotional urgency. "We need Steph," Draymond said. "We need his gravity. We need his shot." Yet, on Tuesday, Curry himself tried to temper expectations. When asked if he'd attempt to suit up for Wednesday's elimination game, he quipped, "Even if I wanted. To be Superman, I couldn't." The message seemed clear. Don't bank on a surprise return for Game 5. The Warriors must lean on their depth once more, with Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole shouldering a heavy load. But here's where we turn speculation into a theory worth considering. What if Superman wasn't meant to be taken so literally? What if Curry is planting a red herring, publicly downplaying his chances, all while ramping up behind closed doors? We know from years of grit that Curry will push through pain, barriers when the moment demands it. His reputation as a competitor is unrivaled. Remember that gutsy 2015 playoff run after an MCL sprain, or the 2019 finals when he powered through nagging ankle issues. Given the magnitude of a potential Game 5 elimination, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Curry and the medical staff could greenlight a heavily braced, minutes-limited return in Minnesota. Consider the variables. Game 5 tip-off is less than 72 hours after Game 4, giving Curry exactly 3 days to recover. With modern sports medicine protocols, ice, compression, targeted muscle therapies, and daily MRIs, Curry's Grade 1 tear might be manageable for a one-off, adrenaline-fueled performance. He wouldn't sprint on cuts. He'd stagger at first, feed off the crowd's energy, and rein in his explosive drives, leaning instead on ball fakes, off-the-dribble step-backs, and catch-and-shoot triples. It's a Curry special. Minimize contact and maximize scoring opportunities in the 4 to 6 minutes he can tolerate. Logistical whispers out of practice have reported Curry taking live, full-court drives with no obvious hesitation, albeit at a gentler pace. Teammates have described seeing him jog hard and explode. Head athletic trainer Rick Celebrini, arguably the best in the business, has suggested a possible hot brace protocol that allows threshold play while protecting muscle fibers. In theory, with surgical straps and a hyper-compressive sleeve, Curry could toe the line, deliver a vintage three-pointer or two, and hand off to the cavalry before the hamstring cries, "Uncle!" Now, we're not medical experts, just fans playing armchair clinician, but the precedent exists. Brandon Roy, LeBron in 2014, even Michael Jordan on the flu game, legends have performed through near-impossible physical constraints. And Curry is no different in heart. His Instagram stories on Monday showed him in the hyperbaric chamber and later shooting gravity-defying pull-ups at the facility's edge, cues he's ramping up shooters' reps, staying mentally locked in. Combine that mental edge with a supremely conditioned body, and suddenly a one-game return right now doesn't feel like absolute fantasy. My take as a die-hard Warriors fanatic? I want to believe. I crave those moments when Curry emerges from the tunnel, black brace gleaming, headband in place, and fires off a 30-foot dagger. I want the stunned silence in the Timberwolves bench as the chef cooks one on the scoreboard. But I also respect caution. If Steph tests positive in the full-pace scrimmage tomorrow or the hamstring shows repeat micro-tears, he'll sit and wait, delaying his return until Game 6 in front of a raucous Chase Center. Yet, if I had to stake my heart on one outcome, I lean toward a limited Steph scenario. 15 minutes max, heavily monitored, focusing on catch-and-shoot and quick-set transition threes. Even a 9-for-12 shooting night over 2 quarters could flip the series back to 3-2 and ignite the entire team. Clay, Wiggins, Poole, they'd lift afterward, buoyed by the gravity of Steph's presence. Victory might just follow. So, keep your fingers crossed and your eyes glued to those pregame reports. If Stephen Curry walks out for warm-ups, brace yourselves for Chichen Curry watch like never before. Whether or not he steps on the floor, his mere potential return will electrify the Warriors, maybe, enough to stave off elimination and set up a historic Game 6 showdown. If you want every heartbeat of this epic playoff drama, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to Warriors News Fan Update, and ring the bell now, because Game 5 could define an era. The evening air in Minnesota will crackle the moment Stephen Curry jogs onto the court. Even before the opening tip, everyone will know that this isn't just another game. It is a statement. Curry's presence alone forces the Timberwolves to scramble, to switch coverages on the fly, to abandon comfort zones they embraced over 3 straight wins. In those first few possessions, you'll feel it in the electricity of the Chase Center. Crowd broadcast back through the TNT cameras, a collective exhale of hope that the dynasty's heart still beats fiercely. At tip-off, Andrew Wiggins hurls a long inbound pass and the clock starts. On the first Warriors possession, Jordan Poole dribbles at the wing, drawing 2 defenders, then kicks back to Curry. He squares up, barely bending his knee, and releases a perfect triple that rattles home. The announcers stutter, the crowd erupts, and suddenly the scoreboard reads 5-0. That shot signals a seismic shift in momentum. The Wolves, who had tasted the thrill of finishing off Golden State, now see a different beast entirely. As the first quarter unfolds, Curry restricts himself to catch-and-shoot opportunities. He backs off screens, resets with that iconic shimmy of his shoulders, and nails mid-range pull-ups that remind us of his MVP peak. Meanwhile, Draymond Green corrals the defense, barking instructions at the Timberwolves rollman, daring Anthony Edwards to try a contested mid-range jumper. Edwards hesitates because he knows Draymond is ready to swat it into the second deck. The sequence encapsulates the new reality. No longer can Minnesota attack the rim with abandon. Curry's gravity has rippled across the lineup. In the second quarter, Curry spots a passing lane and zips a bounce feed to Kevin Looney rolling hard to the rim. Looney lays it in with 2 hands and draws a foul. The play isn't flashy, but it channels the essence of Curry's return, facilitating, unleashing the role players, and trusting the system. Every teammate lifts with renewed energy. Klay Thompson catches fire on back-to-back corner threes. Andrew Wiggins dives on loose balls with the same ferocity that defined the 2015 championship run. The bench roars with each defensive stop, and the Warriors race out for fast breaks with renewed purpose. Minnesota's coaches scramble, switching up defensive schemes and throwing double teams at Curry the moment he crosses half court. But those traps only open up shooters on the weak side. Jordan Poole, that perpetually smiling assassin, knocks down a deep triple in transition. At halftime, Golden State leads by 12, the narrative rewritten by Curry's calculated heroics. His limited minutes, just 18 on the stat sheet, carry more weight than any full game without him. As the third quarter begins, Kerr sits Curry at The 5-minute mark ferried off in a custom brace, but the Warriors have already seized control. The crowd at Target Center, once hostile, now hums with a grudging respect. Every defensive rotation triggers cheers. Every contested shot above the break draws applause. Even fans wearing Karl Anthony Towns jerseys applaud Curry's gravity because they understand a superstar defying his injury to carry his team is the stuff of legends. With just 2 minutes left in the third, Curry stands on the baseline taking a practice stripe. 6 hits in a row, each swish echoing like affirmation. He jogs back on defense, anticipating a drive, stepping into a contest that ends in a clean block by Draymond. The bench leaps, and Curry is right there to pound Draymond's chest in celebration. That block symbolizes more than points. It cements the team's confidence that they can grind this series to the bitter end. The fourth quarter becomes a coronation of collective will. Curry returns for 4 final minutes, hitting a pair of step-back threes that effectively break Minnesota's spirit. As the clock winds down, he dribbles out the shot clock once, draws the defense, then swings to Thompson for a dagger from the wing. The Wolves call timeout, but the blow is delivered. A 116-101 victory that staves off elimination and shifts the series to 3-2. For the Timberwolves, it's a bitter pill. Curry's comeback has turned the tide. For the Warriors, it's everything. They channel all the lessons of past comebacks, the 2019 postseason, the 2022 finals run, into a renewed belief that no deficit is too large when Curry returns. In the locker room, Curry offers quiet praise to each teammate, acknowledging their role in his night of heroics. Kerr stands at the podium afterward, tears in his eyes, simply saying, "That's why we all love him." As a lifelong Warriors fan, seeing Curry defy the odds in Game 5 is the stuff of dreams. It reminds me why I fell in love with this team, the resilience, the unbreakable spirit, the splash heard round the world. Tonight, we witnessed not just a shooter making shots, but a leader uniting a team and a fan base around a shared belief. The chase is far from over, so strap in, because the series returns to Chase Center with a new pulse, and I can't wait to see how this saga culminates. The next 48 hours will determine whether Curry experiments with the Superman brace or waits for a full 100% on home turf. Either way, this series will be defined by his presence or absence in Game 5. Keep refreshing those injury updates because, as always, Warriors News Fan Update will bring you every rumor, every fact, and every human moment as this drama unfolds. Stay tuned. The final lineups, warm-up footage, and pre-game whispers are coming any minute now. The splashiest comeback in playoff history might just be one day away.